Do you
No.
hear music?
No.
You don't?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, cool. I'm going to start.
Okay.
One last question. Is that a good mix of voice and guitar?
We can hear it. We can hear it. They're ready for some bluegrass.
Okay.
They're ready for some bluegrass music, John. We're ready to dance.
Okay, good. You all.
We've been sitting long.
Right on, right on. Okay. Well, sorry can't be there in person, but we just finished with our annual Mississippi River summer camp for middle school and high school girls and boys. We spent 1 week with the boys and 1 week with the girls, which turned into a co-ed camp actually, because we had a bunch of girls drop out and a bunch of boys who couldn't go. So I'm John Ruskey, Driftwood Johnny Ruskey, and I'm the owner of Quapaw Canoe Company and founder of the Lower Mississippi River Foundation. And the canoe company, it's a for-profit located in Clarksdale, Mississippi. I work with Mark River Peoples, who's a longtime Southern coordinator for the Mississippi River Network, and we're celebrating the River Days of Action this couple of weeks here, the first 2 weeks of June, which is a good thing to do. And also we're celebrating the first ever National Mississippi River Day, which is pretty cool, honoring and respecting the river. And that's what we're all about. The river, she's our queen, we're her worker bees, and we do whatever we can to bring her health and happiness, and let her flow, let her flow. And how do we do that? We do that by building canoes and making maps. We're map makers. I love maps. And I'm a canoe builder, and I love canoes. And we use those on the biggest river in North America for adventures and educational and spiritual experiences. And also for documentation of the river and its islands and its biota. We're kind of like witnesses for the river. And one of our sayings is, the river connects us all. 32 states and 66 million Americans. We're all connected by this river. And of course, it empties out into the Gulf of Mexico, where you all are. And by the way, you will notice a couple photos from the Gulf. And actually, one photo in here is from the aquarium, a group of gators. When you see the gators, that's in the aquarium. And it's a changing world we live in. But we're all connected by the waters, by the rivers, and by the sky. The sky is a river. The river's the sky. Don't ask me why, let him flow on by. Let him flow on by. Let him flow on by. Don't ask me why, let him flow on by. Rain Rain is a river, and the river is rain. Don't make me explain. Let it rain, let it rain. Let it rain, let it rain. Let it rain, let it rain. Don't make me explain. Let it rain, let it rain. Mayflies a river, and the river's a mayfly. Don't let her die, let her fly, let her fly. Let her fly, let her fly. Let her fly, let her fly. Don't let her die, let her fly, let her fly. Milky Way's a river, and the river's a Milky Way. Don't get in the way, let it pray, let it pray. Let it pray, let it pray. Let it pray, let it pray. Don't get in the way, let it pray, let it pray. The boy is a river, and the river's a boy. He plays in the water, it's a joy, it's a joy. It's a joy, it's a joy. It's a joy, it's a joy. He plays in the water, it's a joy, it's a joy. Oh, the girl is a river, and the river's a girl. She paddles through the eddies, it curls and uncurls. It curls and uncurls. It curls and uncurls. She paddles through the eddies, it curls and uncurls. Time is a river, and the river is time. Don't make it be mine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine. Don't make it be mine, let it shine, let it shine. In a journey sublime, let it shine, let it shine. So shout out to Liz on Terry. Can y'all hear me?
Yep. Yes, thank you.
Did the music come through okay?
Yes, you guys could all hear it, right? Yay.
Okay, great. Well, this is a running montage of photos and a few short video clips. I didn't mean to do that, but I guess I'm glad they're in there, of what we see on the river. And you can push that forward into what we smell and hear and taste and feel. And you can imagine the sun on your face and the wind in your hair, the mud between your toes, and all of creation thriving around you. Because the Mississippi River is one of the greatest biotas in North America, definitely, and arguably the world. It's one of those long landscapes that they're the gators that E.O. Wilson, the biologist, talked about. Those important long landscapes that connect important bioregions such as the North Woods and the piney woods of the Gulf Coast, and waters also, such as all the headwaters of the river, everything in between Montana and Pennsylvania and the Gulf of Mexico. And it's a narrow, long landscape. You know, usually the long landscapes are some Rocky Mountains or Appalachia. This is a narrow one. It's only as wide as the wet levees are. And we wish the levees were a little bit wider to allow more of creation to thrive. But I'm shouting out to Liz Onteri. She's from Boston, and we met her last week, and she is actually walking the length of the Mississippi River. And hey, Liz, I hope you were able to tune in today. As my daughter and I were traveling north from Port Gibson, Mississippi, Liz was walking south on the levee somewhere near Eagle Lake, which is a giant oxbow lake just above Vicksburg. And the land between the levees, that's known as the Batture. And that's where creation is thriving. All the mammals, amphibians, insects, and all the microbiota and everything that's in the mud that is the foundation of it all, that was carried down by the melting of the last ice age 10 to 15,000 years ago, displaced all of the salty water out of that embayment of the Gulf of Mexico, which used to reach all the way up to southern Illinois, what's now southern Illinois, and replaced it with this amazing soil that is still producing, and still year after year of cotton, soybean, and corn, and rice, and other large-scale industrial crops. Year after year after year after year, it keeps producing. And you know, the bad news is in the Amazon, that is, when you cut an acre of forest, it's not coming back because there's no topsoil. So unless you bring the topsoil back, there's no going back. The good news for the lower Mississippi Valley, which used to be about 50 million acres, is that 50 million acres of woods I'm talking about, is that if you just stop planting, the trees come back on their own. The birds and all the other creatures that are seed distributors, we're included in that when we eat wild fruits and nuts on the river and do our number 2 out on the sandbar in the morning. We're part of that distribution chain. But it all began with the mud, and then it became the trees. We've cut about 90% of those trees. But Teddy Roosevelt, who saw it when it was still 90% forested back in the last century, in the early part of the last century, he was a bear hunter, and he was down in the south part of the Delta, and he said that those big trees in the lower Mississippi Valley were the biggest trees he saw in North America outside of the West Coast. And why didn't he protect several million acres of those trees? Well, probably because it seemed like it was infinite. Kind of like how we feel about the oceans. They're infinite. We think, but they're really not. Nothing is infinite. songbird at my window, looking for her happy home. Songbird at my window, looking for her happy home. If I could give to you my wings, if I could give to you my wings, if I could give to you my wings, fly away to your happy home, fly away to your happy home. Mother was hovering nearby, Daddy was nowhere around. Mother was hovering nearby, Daddy was nowhere to be found. Fly, fly away, pajarito. Huélete, pajarito. Huélete, pajarito. There's no home left in this forest, 'cause the trees are all cut down. Oh, the oak was too stiff and too regal. The hackberry cracked and fell down. The oak was too stiff and too regal. The hackberry cracked and fell down. Fly away, pajarito. Huélete, pajarito. Huélete, pajarito. There's no home left in this forest, 'cause the trees are all cut down. There's no home left in this forest, 'cause the trees are all cut down. Well, I gave my heart to that songbird, and she came flying right in. Gave my heart to that songbird, and she came flying right in. Now you have found a home in my heart, wood. You have found a home in my heart, wood. You have found a home in my heart, wood. I'm your tree and you are my songbird. You're my songbird and I'm your tree. I'm your tree and you are my songbird. You're my songbird and I am your tree. By the way, these are all original songs that I'm singing you today. So maybe this is a way of copywriting them, making them public. Everything is a continuum and a shared thing, and we try not to hold on too tightly, except to the things we value and the things we appreciate, and especially things of great beauty and vitality, and things of great proliferation, like we find in the creatures that we visit, and in their homes we feel like we're visitors. And I understand there are a few veterinarians in the audience today,
And veterinary
and and a few students of veterinary medicine. And thank you for that. You all are saviors of the next generation of creation. We hope you're saviors of this generation. I should correct myself in that. I've heard that it's estimated that around 10 or 15 million species exist on this earth. And those people that study species think they're probably a lot more than that, maybe 25 million species. And we're one out of 25 million then. And everything we do in our work on the river, us Mighty Quapaws, we call ourselves, the worker bees, is done by consensus and with balance in mind. And equality is our practice. And the canoe is a great teacher for that practice, because the canoe, that was a blackberry you just saw, and we did witness that. We witnessed everything that you're seeing here. These were, most of these were taken with my iPhone. Not that one, but most of these other ones. But the canoe is, I don't know, it's maybe the greatest example of democracy, because we all work together and paddle together and travel and adventure together. And you can see the kinds of people that we take out on the river when we do these things. And we all have to put aside our personal aches and pains and personal discomforts, and hopefully share the joys, and all work together for the greater good. And it's easy when you're in a canoe. The greater good is just getting to down the river, stroke by stroke, and safely around the bend. We do navigate the biggest river in North America with some of the biggest vessels in the entire world. And that's our half-mile long towboats we share the river with. The Mississippi, it's very important highway for our commerce. And there's one right there. And safety and the beauty. In fact, it's sometimes an ecstasy of reaching the big, beautiful islands of the Mississippi River, the lower Mississippi River. And these giant beaches that you're seeing in these photos are very similar to the beaches that you have down on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. And it's some of the same silicate that creates your beaches, but a lot of other things mix in, everything from the Rocky Mountains to Appalachia, in fact, obviously. Mix in the Ozarks and the Pawnees and the Kentucky hills and the Badlands of South Dakota and everything in between. And it's a diverse mixture of sand that we have. Gulf Coast sand is mostly Appalachian. It's been washed out of the Mobile River, Pascagoula. Mostly the Mobile, I understand, and gets washed westward with the prevailing flow of the Gulf of Mexico. But the beaches are very similar. We don't have a 12-mile long Horn Island, but we do have a 20,000 acre Big Island, which is located at the mouth of the Arkansas River. And it's actually an island formed by three rivers: the Arkansas, the White River coming out of the Ozarks, the Arkansas coming out of Colorado and across the Great Plains, and the Mississippi, of course. And it's an island formed by rivers. And according to geographers, it's the largest island in the continental United States in between the coasts. We do have big islands And you have 60 miles of islands down on the Gulf Coast. Those spectacular and special barrier islands. I visited all of them, and some of these photos come from them. Whoops, I hit pause. You have 60 miles of those on the, oh, we're starting over again. Good. You might have missed something. You're going to see it again. You have 60 miles of those in between the Alabama border and Louisiana, the Chandeliers and the Bird's Foot Delta. But the lower Mississippi River is 954 miles long from the mouth of the Ohio down to mile 0 in the middle of the Bird's Foot Delta, down below Venice, 10 miles below Venice. 954 miles of big islands. And these are some of them that you're seeing in this slideshow. And it's the landscape that we paddle, and the islands that become our refuge at nighttime. I'm going to share one last song here, and then I think we're going to have time for some Q&A. Those are paired tracks. And this song is, it has 2 titles. I've been playing these songs a long time. The first one that I sang, like 20 years, I wrote it into a painting. The sky's a river, the river is sky. Don't ask me why, let it flow on by. 20 years later, I wrote a song about it. But this song has its roots in my chief guide and youth leader is Mark River Peoples. And there he is right there. Mark River came down the Mississippi in the flood of 2011 and landed in Clarksdale and has not left since. And he has a recurring dream of hundreds of canoes on the river all in the same time. Kind of like what used to be seen on the Mississippi River before the Spanish conquistadors came through and changed everything. And the Mississippi mound builder people, the Mississippi was their highway and all the tributaries. And how did they get around? In big canoes, dugouts. And Mark River, this song is called Mark River's Dream. And it kind of evolved when I met Neil Moore, and he was paddling 22 rivers across 22 states in 22 months in 2022. Look them up, 22 rivers. And this is also, in part, some of these lyrics come from Neil Moore's journey. And if you see a photo of a guy in a canoe, in a red canoe in front of the Statue of Liberty, that's Neil Moore. And the reason that's in there is because he paddled the Mississippi and he wrote about it. And then he decided he's going to paddle the other direction from the Pacific to the Atlantic. So this is a shout out to Neil also. And like all the songs I sing, it has its roots in American folk and blues and hillbilly and the rancheras of northern Mexico, cowboy music. I'm from Colorado, so I got a lot of cowboy in me. And Indian. While riding a river, sea to shining sea. There's Neil. From the coastal ranges to Lady Liberty. I had a dream of endless opportunities. Big rivers running free. Lordy, oh, I laid my head below some cottonwood tree. Mark River's favorite place to sleep. A cottonwood tree. Sounds like rain falling on a tin roof. And my dreams ferried me down to the sea. Oh, the snuggies were flying deep into the night. And Orion was dancing by the Big Dipper's light. Well, I woke up with a start and I jumped in the stream. Then I freshened up the fire to warm up my dreams. And the coffee too. Oh, I loaded my canoe and I pushed off the sand. And went sailing downstream for the promised land. Ooh, Lordy, hey. Oh, far over the levee, the river is the queen. and I will always serve her as a worker bee. May the river be with you wherever you may be. And may you never wake up from this river rat stream.
All right. Thank you, John. I think they're going to
Horn
kick us
Island.
here. The lights are in the
That
hallway.
was
They're closing.
yuppin bush. You know, North America's unique caffeinated bush, something like yerba. What do you call it?
We are so grateful that you took out time. We feel like we've been on the canoes with you, and we've really had that personal experience with you. So thank you so much.
Thank you all.
I don't think we're going to have any time for questions because I think they're kicking us out of the building.
Oh, okay.
Does anybody have a quick question for John? Or a comment or anything? Did you all feel like you were on the canoe
Well, I
with them?
should give credit.
Yeah, fun.
We'd love to have you. It's what we do, and we feel like we're doing good service to our Queen River and to the world at large.
You do a great job, and we're super blessed to have this time with you. And it's been a great experience for everybody to really have an inside scoop on what takes place on the lower Mississippi. You are
All right.
definitely a legend.
Thank you, Christine. And also a shout out to Corey and the Mighty Quapaws, Heather and Mark River Peoples and Kaylee Mayfly and Jay, Jeremiah, and Jadarius, Valencia, if you're watching, and who am I forgetting? Matthew Burdine up in Memphis, and Lane Lowe down in Vicksburg. All right. Sending big rubber love to y'all. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, John.
Good job, Christine.
Have a great evening, and we'll be in touch. I'll get the
Great.
share the recording with you.
All
Big
right.
hug.
Thank you. All right. You did
Safe
great.
travels. Thank you so much for all your contributions. You're an amazing river soul.
Whoop, whoop.
See if I can turn this off properly.